Mario Kart Wii is the second best-selling Wii game and completely revolutionized the series. Today I'll be covering some of the unused content in Mario Kart Wii for the Nintendo Wii. 4 characters did not make the cut in the final game. To start alphabetically, an icon of Hammer Bros still exists in the game files. This would have been its first appearance in the Mario Kart series before they were included in Mario Kart Tour. Next up, Koopa Paratrooper's icon is still in the game files. Although they appeared in Mario Kart Double Dash, he strikes a different pose in the GameCube installment. The icon was used in early versions of Double Dash. Next up, the Miis would have gotten a third suit known as Mii Outfit C. This third icon is different from the first two, which suggests it didn't make it much farther than testing. A button exists for Mii Outfit C, but the character ID is immediately replaced with Mii Outfit A. Finally, Petey Piranha's icon exists in the game files, and although he was scrapped from the game, Petey Piranha would later appear in Mario Kart Tour along with literally every single character to exist. Page 42 of Nintendo Power Volume 227 shows a Boo item on a roster of items to be included in Mario Kart Wii. The only trace of this item in the game files is the item ID 0x13. You see, when the game tries to execute a behavior on an item that doesn't exist, it usually gives a mushroom, but slot 0x13 does nothing, and that implies that the item was present at some point in the game files, but scrapped from the game. There are 3 unused sounds in the game. There is a song that would have been heard whenever you win a boss at certain tournaments that had them, but in the final game, winning a boss plays the same song as winning in battles. The second part of Wario's Gold Mine, inside of the mine, actually has an opening to its course. Technically, it's not unused, but this opening is never heard of since the race always begins outside. None of the online tournaments taking place on this level start inside of the mines. Finally, there is an early trick sound effect, and compared to the final version, it lasts longer and its pitch is higher. This song was actually used in the next installment in the series, Mario Kart 7, and can be heard whenever a player does a trick in Rainbow Road or SNES Rainbow Road. There is a mission mode for Mario Kart Wii planned, but all of the missions created for the mode have been wiped from the game disc. It was pretty similar to the tournament mode for Wii Connect 24, and you could even port tournaments to mission mode. It would have worked nearly identically, which implies that the missions made for mission mode were ported over to tournaments. The menus have no available text, but the game is trying to load them, which means that they were erased. The sole survivor of this purge is a piece of text saying choose a mission after completing a mission. A massive file that would have contained mission parameters is not in the game files, and therefore you can't start the mode without simulating its existence. A subroutine is in the game files and attempts to load the files in the mission run folder, but that folder is ultimately empty. The files would have contained information on the objective, the engine class, where to place objects, the required score, and more. There are 14 missions in the game files, so I'll only go over the ones I think are actually interesting. 0x0d is named Slipstream, where you need to get slipstreams from AI opponents to score points. This seems pretty challenging because the AI may be unpredictable with its movement, but the score increases when the AI slipstreams someone else. 0x08 is named Rocket Start, and the objective is perform any level of boost start to instantly complete the mission. If you miss the boost start, you can't win the mission at all, and I think it would have been pretty funny to see this in action, and it would be the shortest mission by far. Mario Kart Wii is pretty different when traveling around the world. For example, something as subtle as the home banner has subtle differences. The Korean home banner lost all of its drop shadow, which makes the edges look very sharp. The American and Japanese version of the banner have the items much closer to each other compared to the European and Korean versions of the banner. The European and Korean versions of the logo both have the trademark symbol as TM, while the American and Japanese versions of the logo have the symbol as the letter R in a circle. Finally, the Korean and Japanese logos have their game name in their respective languages under the Romanized logo. The title screens are also a little bit different. The text stating to press the A button is slightly different in Asia, as their text is in English, all caps, and has the letter A in parentheses. The Korean copyright text is pretty weird compared to other versions. The text is lower in bold, and the year 2009 is added to reflect the version's release date.